first stretch we're going to demonstrate is the latissimus dorsi anchored hip drop lat stretch. The muscles targeted are the latissimus dorsi in your back. It's a dynamic stretch, so I will now proceed to demonstrate it for you, and then I will give you coaching points as you follow my demonstration. This stretch is designed to move the latissimus dorsi muscle through a full range of movement while increasing muscle tissue length and preparing it for exercise. So what we do first of all is we take a position just slightly above head height on a fixed point. It can be a wall, a doorway. If you're in a gym, it can be a squat rack. The important thing is that it's firm, it cannot move. You then place the nearest foot to the fixed upright, parallel to the doorway, and make it nice and firm position. You then place the other foot behind you with your arm straight up. What you're going to do is move your body forwards at the same time moving your shoulder and your elbow backwards. So the idea is we're moving like that position. It's very important that the shoulder and the elbow move back at the same time. So we move forward with the body. When we have got used to the range of motion, as we move forward, we sink our hip down on the same side as the arm. Just do that for you once more, keeping your front foot forwards. You go underneath the elbow. As you get your range of motion going, you sink your hip down, and you should feel the So you're putting the right elbow just above your head and holding it in a fixed position, so slightly higher. You're putting the near side foot parallel to the fixed frame, so the left foot goes there, a little bit further forward, and your right foot position is there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move your body forward at the same time pushing your elbow and your shoulder back. So you literally put your head through and then reverse back again. And then push it forward, and you should feel a nice stretch down this muscle here. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Now the third movement, if you go forward and then just sink the right hip down, so we've got a lovely curve in the lats muscle. Can you feel that okay?
Yeah, I can feel that.
That's absolutely wonderful. Well done.
Thank you.
The next stretch is an inclined calf wall stretch with rotation. The muscles targeted are the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles in the back of your calves, and it's a dynamic type of stretch. What we're going to do for this one is stand arm's distance away from a fixed object such as a wall. It can be a squat rack or something similar in the gym, but it must be fixed, and it helps to have a nice long length in front of you. You're going to lean your body forward, making sure that your glutes are tensed on the side to be stretched. This side in this case. We're going to step a foot through towards the fixed object and making sure that the front of the hip is completely flat. Then we're going to lift the foot off the floor. We are going to externally rotate it at the hip. And we're allowing the hips to rotate, and we're sweeping the knee through as large an arc as possible. We're repeating the movement in a very unhurried manner and letting the joint get used to the increased range of motion. Then we're taking the rear foot back a bit more and allowing the hips to sink a bit further. The point of this exercise is to get as much movement in the ankle as possible, combining the internal and external fibre lines in the calf muscle. Just do the other leg at the same time. Again, we're stretching this muscle down here. So we're lifting up the left foot and literally rotating it. Nice and relaxed. As you get used to the motion, you can rotate further, and at the same time you've got external hip rotation as well as the internal rotation. And that completes the stretch. Would you like to have a go, Chris?
Okay. Right.
So you have body, arm distance away from the wall with your hands flat against the wall at shoulder length. You're going to lift the right hand foot to start off with, bend at the knee, with your left foot straight, and you're going to rotate around the hip, so you're swinging from the right round the way to the left. Slightly raise your knee so it's 90-degree angle to the body, and rotate it around the hip. That's nice. And can you feel the stretch going on in your left calf muscles as you rotate? If you want to keep swinging round, nice unhurried motion. And as we actually rotate, that stretch in the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles in your calf will continue to stretch out more and more, the more rotation that you have. If you want to swap to the other leg, so you're going to have the right foot flat, you're going to bend the left knee, and you're going to start off at the left side and literally rotate the left foot round all the way to the right side, and up you go again to the left side. If you can look ahead at the same time, that'll give you an increased range of motion in your right calf. You feel the stretch there?
Yeah.
And that completes that stretch. Thank you. The third stretch we're going to do is a split stance pectoral stretch and mobilisation. The muscles targeted are your pectorals in your chest, and it's a dynamic stretch. This stretch is designed to reduce the influence of the pectoral muscle while encouraging shoulder protraction and encouraging a full range of movement at the shoulder. So how we're going to do it is a split stance position with the hand the same side as the rear leg. You grasp the pole or the stick 2/3 of the way down, with the other hand where you have the end of the pole in the palm of your upper hand. The upper arm starts at the shoulder or mid-chest position, and then using a rear hand you're pushing forwards, levering the raised arm up and back at a 45-degree angle. In this position, the shoulder should be externally rotating and the stretch should be felt in the chest. It's important to avoid any rotation of your torso and avoid internally rotating the shoulder at the top of the movement. Your body should stay nice and tall with your hand placed squarely on top of the bar, and you're moving gently into the stretch with a brief pause at the end of the motion before you come back to the start position. Just showing you on the other side. Again, the split stance with a hand on top and the other hand lower down, starting at the shoulder position and literally pushing up with the nice unhurried motion up to a 45-degree angle above the body. If you'd like to have a go at that.
So hand on top.
Hand on top. Split stance, so your left foot is going forward, your right foot is at the rear with both feet pointing forwards. The right hand is about 2/3 of the way down the pole, upright stance, head looking forward and pushing forward with your right hand so that your left hand is going up. Don't rotate the body, keep it nice and straight and looking forward at all times. So there's only external rotation of your left shoulder. Your body and your head are at all times looking forward. Nice and slow motion. You're feeling it in your pectoral muscles in your chest?
Yeah.
Nice and gentle. The upper hand only goes down to shoulder level, no lower. And that's beautiful movement. Would you like to try it on your other foot?
Okay.
So put your right foot forward, your left foot rear, point both feet forwards. Have your right arm at shoulder height.
Okay.
And then looking forward with your body nice and tall, push up outwards with your left hand. That's lovely. Well done. Nice slow movement. Just push straight forwards with your left hand. And then bring it back to shoulder height again. Nice slow and hurried movement. No turning with your body. The only thing that's moving is your arms. Feel the stretch in your chest?
Yeah.
And just the last one. Well done. That was great movement. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
The final stretch we're doing is a quadriceps, a seated modified hurdler stretch with hip rotation. The muscles targeted this time are the quadriceps, the big muscles at the front of your leg. This time it's an inhibition activation stretch. So as one muscle is inhibited, the other one is activated. So they're not both being worked at the same time. The aim is to reduce the involvement of the quadriceps, so we're inhibiting the quadriceps and we are having any hip extension movement such as deadlifts or jumping movements inhibited as well. So what we're going to do is, using the bench, we're going to put the back foot over the bench and push the knee down towards the floor. Make sure that the hip is right over the edge of the bench so that the knee can be brought in. You're pushing the knee down towards the floor by contracting your glutes muscles, and you're pushing up with the same side hand. You really feel the stretch down your quadriceps muscles on the right. To increase the difficulty, you can press down with the knee and push up the same side arm. You can add lateral flexion, and you can reach up and you can add trunk rotation as well, which is the whole body going round. Okay, and then we'll just demonstrate that for you again. So literally raising up the right foot. So if you wish to stand up first, put your foot on pad, that's fine. Make sure that the hip is dropped right down the side and the knee is pointing downwards. You put your left leg flat with your left leg at 90-degree angle to your body and the left foot flat. Nice straight motion, and push your hand up. So you've got a nice big stretch on the quads muscle. Again, if you want to turn to add extra stretch, you can do, and then you come back to seated again and drop your foot onto the floor. Would you like to try that?
Okay.
Right, put your right foot onto the bench so that your toes are flat. Get your hip right to the edge of the bench so that your right knee is as close to the floor as you can make it.
Okay.
You're then going to put your left knee at 90-degree angle to the body and the left foot is flat on the floor. You're then going to raise your right arm as high as you can, and you should feel the stretch right the way down this muscle here. If you want to have a little bit more effort, you can actually twist your trunk slightly in a rotation, and you can also arch your right arm over slightly as if you're looking at the window. And that gives you an even bigger stretch on the quads muscle. Can you feel that all right? And if you want to come back and lower your arm, put your hand back on the bench and release your foot.